Self-honesty is not about knowing yourself better. It's not reflection. It's not finding your strengths or processing your past. It's the moment you stop playing along with the version of you that was constructed by survival, expectation, repetition. You assume you are the one thinking your thoughts, but most of what you call you is performance, reactive scripts, inherited values, memorized preferences. The collapse begins when you stop pretending any of it was freely chosen. This is not insight, it's interruption. It begins with a freeze, a refusal to respond the way you always have. You're insulted, and instead of defending, you stop. You're praised, and instead of basking, you stop. You're asked what you believe, and for once, instead of answering, you watch what wants to answer. There is silence beneath the compulsion. That's where it starts. The mechanism reveals itself in stillness. You notice the machinery. When someone disagrees, the reflex to explain. When you're alone, the urge to distract. When you're wrong, the need to justify. You don't stop these out of virtue. You stop them out of curiosity. Who is moving behind your face? And then it shatters. The roles you've worn don't hold. The voice you used with friends sounds false. The ambitions that drove you feel foreign. You're in a conversation and realize you don't believe what you're saying, but you keep saying it because it's what keeps the room intact. This is ego death in real time. The scaffolding of your identity begins to crumble, not because you chose new beliefs, but because the old ones lost their grip. What's left is rubble, not clarity, just debris. You are not yet free. You are emptied. Your motivations are visible but not noble. You see the lie in your kindness, the self-interest in your generosity, the calculation in your vulnerability. You don't hate it. You just stop pretending it's love. You notice how much of your life was built on being seen a certain way. In this raw state, everything is unprotected. You hear yourself agree to things you resent. You watch yourself perform sincerity. You feel the gap between what you do and what you feel, and you don't fix it. You just witness the fracture. This watching is the beginning of self-honesty. Then, slowly, something rebuilds. But it's not the self you lost. It's quieter, smaller, built from direct experience. You stop quoting books. You stop citing authorities. You start trusting only what you've seen, felt, verified. Not conclusions, evidence, not beliefs, observations. You say less, but when you speak, it's yours. The cost of the old structure was autonomy. The cost of the new is illusion. You can no longer pretend to be innocent. You can no longer hide behind what you were told, but in its place is something durable, not confident, not proud, just real. This is the moment you notice. Most people are not lying to you. They are lying to themselves, and the lie needs your agreement to survive. Once you stop agreeing, the world looks different. Not better, just unmasked. What if your deepest conviction was never yours? What if your goodness was a role you learned to survive? What if every time you say, "I believe this," it's a defense against seeing that you don't? Leave a comment if you've ever watched yourself speak and realized you were just keeping the peace, not telling the truth. Self-honesty is demolition, not transcendence. You don't rise, you collapse, and in the dust, you begin to see what was never real, not to fix it, just to stop serving it. That's the only liberation that matters. The truth doesn't heal, it exposes. It strips away what was never solid, and in that empty space, something else becomes possible. Not better stories, but fewer of them. Not a stronger self, but a quieter one. Not peace, but contact. Not answers, but the end of pretending to need them.